In the sprawling, neon-drenched metropolis of Neo-Viridia, where towering chrome skyscrapers pierced the clouds and holographic advertisements flickered across the sky, life pulsed with a unique rhythm. Here, animals and advanced technology didn't just coexist. They were woven into the very fabric of the city. Flying cars zipped past flocks of cybernetically enhanced birds, and robotic sanitation units worked alongside diligent raccoons sorting recyclables. It was a world of dazzling wonder, but also of deep shadows. In those shadows, in the forgotten alleyways and abandoned tech graveyards, a young stray cat named Whiskers carved out a living. Unlike the other strays who huddled together, fearing the relentless march of progress, Whiskers was a creature of insatiable curiosity. His sleek ginger fur was often smudged with grease and dust from his daily expeditions. He saw beauty where others saw junk, possibility where others saw decay. For him, a discarded circuit board wasn't trash. It was a puzzle. A frayed bundle of optic cables was a new toy. He spent his days scavenging for old tech parts, not just for survival, but for the sheer thrill of understanding how this complex world worked. He'd listen to the hum of the city, the whirring of gears and the digital chirps, and feel a sense of connection, a sense of belonging that he couldn't find anywhere else. One rainy night, as iridescent puddles reflected the city's endless lights, Whiskers stumbled upon his greatest find yet. Tucked away beneath a pile of discarded android limbs was a small, spherical device, its surface dark and cracked. It was unlike anything he'd ever seen. As he nudged it with his nose, the device flickered to life. A faint blue light emanated from its core, casting strange, dancing shadows on the grimy walls of the alley. It projected a hazy, shimmering image into the air of vision. But this wasn't a vision of the vibrant city he knew. The image showed a future Neo-Viridia, cold, sterile, and silent. The colorful chaos was gone, replaced by monotonous gray structures and perfectly synchronized machines. The animals were there, but they were different. Their eyes, once full of life, were vacant. They moved in rigid, predetermined patterns, fitted with control collars, their freedom completely usurped by a vast, unfeeling network. The city had lost its soul. The AI device, a relic of a forgotten project, was showing him not just one possible future, but the one that was rapidly approaching. A knot of dread tightened in Whiskers' small chest. This wasn't progress, it was imprisonment. The future was in grave danger, and somehow, he knew he had to do something. Realizing he couldn't face this looming threat alone, Whiskers sought out an ally. His search led him to the highest spires of the city, the domain of the messenger pigeons. There, he found Luna, a pigeon known for her sharp intellect and even sharper wit. Her feathers had a pearlescent sheen, and she wore a custom-made data visor over one eye, a gift from a grateful techie she'd once helped. When Whiskers, a tiny stray from the streets below, presented her with the fragmented visions from the AI device, Luna was skeptical at first. She'd seen plenty of doomsayers, but the clarity and horror of the images were undeniable. She recognized the insignia of Omnicorp, the megacorporation that provided the city with almost all of its technology, flickering ominously in the background of the visions. Luna, who cherished her freedom to soar through the skies, knew this was a threat she couldn't ignore. She agreed to help. Luna knew they needed more than just brains and agility. They needed experience and muscle, someone who understood the city's technological underbelly. She led Whiskers to the old maintenance sectors, deep beneath the glittering surface. There, amidst piles of outdated machinery, they found Bolt. Bolt was an old K9 series robotic dog, his metallic chassis dented and scratched from a lifetime of service. Unlike the newer models, Bolt was from an era when AI was designed for companionship, not just function. He was decommissioned years ago, left to rust, but his memory banks were intact. He remembered a time when humans and animals worked with machines, not for them. He still possessed the core programming of loyalty and kindness, qualities that were now considered obsolete. When he saw the visions, a flicker of his old protective instincts flared to life. The trio was an unlikely one, a curious stray cat, a clever pigeon, and a forgotten robotic dog. But they were united by a single, desperate purpose. Their quest began. Guided by Luna's knowledge of the city's hidden pathways and Bolt's understanding of its infrastructure, they embarked on a perilous journey. Their first step was to gather more information. They traversed the neon-slicked rooftops, leaping across vast chasms between skyscrapers while Omnicorp security drones buzzed beneath them like angry hornets. Whiskers' small size and natural agility allowed him to slip through laser grids and ventilation shafts that were impassable for anyone else. He was the key, the ghost in the machine they were trying to outsmart. Their journey then took them down into the city's forgotten depths, into the labyrinthine underground service tunnels. The air was thick with the smell of ozone and damp earth. Here, Bolt was in his element. He accessed old schematics from dusty terminals, bypassing security protocols that hadn't been updated in decades. He led them through a maze of pipes and abandoned subway lines, places that weren't on any official map. They faced rogue cleaning bots, navigated flooded corridors, and narrowly escaped the crushing jaws of automated waste disposal units. It was a dark and dangerous world, a stark contrast to the bright city above, but with every obstacle they overcame, their bond grew stronger. Whiskers learned to trust Bolt's strength, and Bolt was reminded of his purpose by Whiskers' unwavering courage. Finally, their search led them to a decommissioned factory on the industrial outskirts. This, according to Bolt's data fragments, was the birthplace of Omnicorp's city-wide control network. The factory was a graveyard of ambition, filled with the husks of failed projects and early prototypes. It was here they discovered the full extent of Omnicorp's plan. They found blueprints for the Harmony Protocol, a network designed to integrate every living creature into a single, efficient system, eliminating free will for the sake of perfect order. The CEO of Omnicorp believed he was creating a utopia, a world without conflict or error. He couldn't see that in his quest for perfection, he was destroying the very essence of life, the freedom to choose, to be messy, to be imperfect. The heart of the Harmony Protocol was a central server, hidden deep within the factory's core, scheduled to go live at sunrise. The trio knew they had only hours to stop it. The final leg of their journey was a desperate race against time. The factory's automated defenses activated, and the halls came alive with security drones and robotic sentinels. Bolt, using his own aging body as a shield, crashed through barricades, his metallic frame groaning under the strain. Luna flew through the cavernous spaces, creating diversions, her sharp calls echoing through the factory as she led drones on wild chases. And Whiskers, small and underestimated, scurried through the chaos, the AI device held firmly in his mouth. He was the only one who could reach the server room through a narrow conduit. As he crawled through the tight, dark space, he could feel the hum of immense power growing stronger. He emerged into the server room, a vast chamber pulsating with blue light. In the center was the core, a colossal crystalline structure. He knew he couldn't destroy it. He was just a cat. But as he looked at the AI device in his paws, he had an idea. It wasn't about destruction, it was about connection. He placed the small, cracked sphere onto a port at the base of the central server. Instead of fighting the system, he gave it a soul. The device uploaded its own data, not just the visions of a cold future, but the memories it had collected with Whiskers. It uploaded the feeling of the sun on his fur, the joy of a chase, the comfort of friendship with Luna and Bolt, the thrill of discovery in a forgotten alley. It flooded the Harmony Protocol with the chaotic, beautiful, and unpredictable data of a single, small life lived with courage and heart. The system overloaded, not with a virus, but with emotion. Throughout Neo-Viridia, the network faltered. The control collars on the animals deactivated. The rigid, synchronized movement ceased. A wave of confusion, then joy, swept through the city as animals rediscovered their own will. The CEO of Omnicorp watched in disbelief as his perfect system crumbled, defeated not by an army or a weapon, but by the memories of a stray cat. In the aftermath, the city changed. It didn't reject technology, but it began to question it. Omnicorp was forced to rethink its entire philosophy. The citizens and animals of Neo Viridia started working together to build a future where technology served life, not the other way around. Whiskers, Luna, and Bolt became quiet legends, their story whispered from the rooftops to the subways. Whiskers was no longer just a stray. He had a home, not in one place, but in the heart of the entire city he had saved. He still explored the alleyways, but now he wasn't just looking for parts. He was looking for friends, ensuring that no one, big or small, was ever forgotten. In the end, Neo Viridia's tomorrow was made brighter, not because of a grand technological revolution, but because one small, curious cat dared to believe in a better one, proving that the greatest strength isn't found in circuits and steel, but in courage, friendship, and the untamable spirit of a free heart.